Disclaimer: this review or discussion is based on opinion and information that is already known to the public. The information may be alleged, but the commentary and opinions are very much true.
But Luna, I am back, and let's just get on to it, because I'm just tired of apologizing. Life does what life wants to do, and we just move. So let us go to episode 8 of Pastor's Wives. It starts off on a charitable note where Upume invites Unoluvo to an outreach. They went to a place where homeless people, I could say, gather and live. So people that are destitute, with obviously different reasons, but they went there to just give hope. They went into an outreach to give hope. They were accompanied by Utabo. Tabo was also a guy that was once in that situation. So Tabo is Pume's friend. So they were just going there to just encourage, give hope, and not only just give hope, not only just speak, but they gave them supplies as well, just for them to just keep going, So that was beautiful, and I really pray that Pume, God blesses Pume and Noluvo and Tabo just for that heart, because that's what it's all about, giving, and it's all about being disciples, honestly. So kudos to them. And before we go further, can we just a moment for the confessionals, guys. The ladies are bringing it. When I saw Pume with that fiery red jumpsuit and her blonde hair, guys, and Judy and them followed, guys. It was just like, can we just, thank you, we may continue. So Unoluvo was also in I think she got touched by one of the ladies. One of the ladies had, her story is that they don't have a home, and her mom obviously went to live with a man, and probably the man is abusive. I don't know the reasons why the girl is not living with her mom, so that might be the reason. And she is destitute, and she's been sent from foster home to foster home, and now she's got a child, and she can't even go and have access to the child and live with the child, because obviously her situation does not allow that. So those are situations that actually remind us to be so grateful in life, because there are people that lack basic rights, basic needs, guys, like sanitization and water. So man, that tore my heart a little bit, and it also reminded me to just stop complaining about the little luxuries that I have, So yeah, that was the first scene. Then it goes to Aniete. Aniete invited Adiola to go and see Utembi. So Tembi clearly is the friend, she's just a friend of Aniete and Nje. It's just there, it's out there, and they just get along, So it makes sense for them to be friends. And Aniete was there to bless the franchise yaga Tembi. Tembi has a Jimmy's Fish and Chips, and Aniete was there to just bless it. And I understood there was a point where Adiola was just like, are we going to pray? And she was asking questions and prompting them, okay, fine, I know we're going to pray and everything, but are we going to pray, like, are the customers comfortable and whatever? And for me, it was relevant for her to ask that, because God is a God of order, So if there was noise and just going about the place, it just, in the name of Jesus, the blood of Jesus, it is disruptive and it is not orderly. So it was good for Adiola to be sure that is that what we're going to do, or are the customers comfortable? And we know that we are children of God. But we need to do things in an orderly way. So I was happy to see that actually, yes, it was done in an orderly way. It was not like they were just out there, like, screaming. They were just in a corner, because obviously at the end it's about praying. it is about what comes out of your heart, and it is about what you are saying and declaring over the company, the business, actually, you know. So in true Tembi style, she just gave them a feast, you know, of nice spike os soul food, not soul food, but spike os. Let me put it like that. Yeah. So it was a lot. Like there was a time even Adiola was just like, yo, is this just starters? Like this is a lot. So there was the scene of the fast food chain that they went to just go pray and bless business yala Tembi. Pume went to meet up with Uyanga. Uyanga, you guys know her from Idols. Just enjoy that petite dynamite, guys. So I think maybe they are friends in the industry, or they have like a mother-to-child, mother-daughter relationship. And yeah, it's just one of those authentic, flowing situations, you know, where you just vibe. So, but they went and met for bowling, and they just had a little moment where they were just talking and expressing. Yanga was expressing to Unoluvo that she wants to do gospel full time. And you know what? I didn't even know that she didn't do it full time, because the fire she gave us, guys, like we were at Thank God Fest, Yagahle. Oh my goodness. She brought fire. She literally brought fire, and it only makes sense for her to do gospel. I don't see her doing anything else. Like, yo, like she's one of those people like Fantasia. I don't know if you guys know Fantasia from America. She's one of those people where she does R&B, but my heart is just like, girl, gospel, girl, you are just anointed, appointed for this mission, you know. So Yana is one of those people. So I can't wait to hear more from her. And she did say that she's a songwriter now, and more is to come, and more is in store. So that it was a moment between Unoluvo and Uyanga. And then we moved to Adiola. Adiola was meeting with Judy for lunch. It was just a catch-up session. You know how it is. They have to catch up. They have to go to places, my wives, and just have a moment and have people around and all that. So it was just one of those moments. And they actually get along. Adiola and Judy really, really get along. And there was this guy that just came, because they brought people from both sides. Like they brought friends from each side, and it was just a nice, beautiful lunch and getting to know each other. And then came this guy, Madimecha, who was just like, actually, you know, tomatoes. He was just seeking for a moment, and you could tell from the onset that it was just like one of those things where he was just like, I want someone to know me and to know my name and someone to talk about me. So, and you know, like, Vele, the person that you can actually do that to is Adiola, because she's very quick, you know, she comes at you. But I think Adiola clocked to Marimeja and was like, nah, he just wants a moment, this one. So I'm gonna pay him I'm gonna pay him dust, you know. So that's what happened. And then, oh, shame. And I noticed with us South Africans and shortening people's names, sometimes we think it is endearing, only to find out that it means something else in that person's language, you know what I mean? So that was the case with Adiola. Adiola mentioned that even with Ujudi, mentioned that Tembi, because Tembi also called her Adi, you know, like India, you know how we are, like Adi, but it comes across as it means something. As actually Adiola did say that it means poo. Practically, it means, you know, in her language. So it just doesn't sit right with her, you know. And besides that, she was just like, put some respect on my name. I'm Adiola. Don't call me anything else, you know. But I come correct. So that was just it. And yeah, that was the lunch. The last scene after the break was where the ladies went to a lodge. It's Sibani Lodge. And I think, because I did not watch last week, but I think it was organized, or Noluvo is the host of actually the glamping trip, because she was the one that was just liaising with the guys there, and the ladies came after her. And yeah, the place looks It looks okay, nice. It's not like luxury, but it's a nice place, and it is not too camperish, especially in accommodation, because yo, I once went camping, right? Then you go, actually, I was just going through a I went through a breakup, and then all that whole single phase and finding myself phase, and I was just like, okay, let me go camping. And I went alone, right? Yo, guys, I slept most of my time in the car. I spent most of my time in the car. I was cold because we were by the river, obviously stream, because people had to do fishing as well in the morning and all that. It was like proper camping, and uh, my Caucasian brothers and sisters enjoyed it so much, but I was there just like, okay, let me just be in the moment, and let me be okay with the fact that I showed up, but in the morning I am out of here, you know. And even the shower and the toilets were just, you know, like public toilets where it's just, guys. So the fact that this one was clamping, and it had electricity, there was some building and some beds and all that. It's something that I would try out. It looks like it's something that I would be open to doing. So they went clamping, and then they just went to look for the accommodation. They just had it was just one of those things where they arrived, and it was just like, ooh, guys, I don't know if we're gonna do this. But I think they just ended up being okay with the situation, because I think because it had beds, it had electricity, you know. Even though there was a problem with sharing, hosting guys. So but they had a problem with sharing beds and all that. So I think it's just part of doing something for the first time and not understanding what you are to be met with, you know. Such instances are for people that are okay with being uncomfortable in that moment or for that weekend or for whatever. Because if you say glamping, it immediately lets you know that you're just going to be met with something that does not look like your home, and that is not as comfortable as your home, you know, or a 5-star hotel. So unless obviously it's like 5-star luxury glamping, and then you would have an idea. So yeah. But you know what? I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with how the ladies were dressed. Like, did they not know that they were going camping? Did they not know that they were going to like a lodge? I don't know. Like, maybe they had no idea that they would be doing stuff like because for me in my head, when you tell me we're gonna go for game drives and stuff like that, my immediate reaction is to wear sneakers and just be comfortable, you know. And then Utsiri came Jay with her skirt and her heels. The other ladies were there in sandals. Yo, I mean, I'm just thinking, yo, what if creepy crawlies? And I don't know, I'm an overthinker, but when I think of being invited in such a space, I immediately think sneakers, comfortable shoes, comfortable clothing, you know. But they were just there like Jay, like they were gonna go to a mall with their sandals, and I was just like, yo, okay guys, okay. Fine, after settling in, the ladies went for lunch that Unoluvo Vele was just orchestrating with the guys at the place. Then they just set up a table and they just had lunch. Adiola was not impressed with the lunch. She was just like, are we having bread? Are you for real, Noluvo? Are we having bread for lunch? You know? And I understand, because, you know, sometimes when you go to a place, like the last thing you think of, because when people think of bread and chips and whatever, they think, okay, it's something that is quick that I would do when I'm just going to a fast food joint, or something that can be prepared for kids. But I'm an adult, you know, and for some reason, I think it was just one of those things. And I think some people are fussy, some people are not fussy. It just depends on the personality of the person, and you understand them, and you just like, it's just like, okay, sorry Adiola, let's just move on. But she was not impressed that she's having bread, and she was just finding out whether is this all that we're going to eat right now, or, you know, guys, hosting, yo, no luvo, I clap even for just being just zen about it all, you know. And shame, And there was a point where Anieti was talking, right? And she had food in her mouth. And Utsiri was just like, yo, Anieti, I can see everything that is going on in your mouth. I can see that the chicken is on the left. Bona, I can see the chips more, you know. And they started attacking her. They were like, no, what's wrong with you, girl, you know? But I understand where it comes from, guys. Let's not pretend like we were never taught table manners. We were never taught etiquette. We were never taught to not speak with the food in our mouths, you know. And we all know, man, it's a little rude when you have just food in your mouth, blah, 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 as opposed to having food in your mouth and just having to just close it kancane and just speak, you know. So I don't think it was offensive for me, especially because it's coming from Tidi. Because as I was saying earlier, that you look at someone's personality and you know that I don't think Tidi meant ill, you know. If it was coming from Queen Nandi, there would have been something there that would be like, okay, she's just trying to be spicy, and I know how she is, she's shady, you know, type of thing. But from Tidi, I think it's how she maybe said it, you know. But yeah, when the manner, the attack that she received, for me it was like, nah, that's unfair. That's not really fair, guys. Like, you guys know what she wanted to say, because you guys know as well what we think of people that just have food stuffed in their mouth and have their mouths open and speaking. It's just not, you know, it's not naughty. And we know that, guys. So we're pretending as if we don't know just because it's people that we like and whatever. But I think it's just a matter of knowing and understanding that where Tidi came from in her speech, and also where Aniete is, because we do speak with food in our mouth, but I think it's a matter of as opposed to yeah, no, yeah, I hear you, you know what I mean. So please, let's just not make it about Western what. It's just decency, that's all. So I think they were just being a little unfair. Like, it was too much. Like, it was too much. Like, it could have been like how Tidi, like, we just informal right now, and it's just not necessary, and then iphelele lapho. But it was just like, hey, and we know that she can be too much sometimes, and she can be like, but guys, please, that was not fair. That was not fair. I'm gonna speak for my girl Tidi. How dare you? And then it closed off with the ladies going for a wine tasting. They went to the Bundus and they just had a table set for them for wine tasting. And it was just, I think there were 3 ladies out of the 7 ladies that actually had to partook. That partaked in the wine tasting, and the other ladies were just drinking their appetizer and stuff. So yeah, that's where it ended, and they just went, like, at some point I was like, why didn't these people go home? Why didn't these 3 just go to the place, and these 4 maybe go to a day spa or whatever, like, not even a day spa, but just sit and chat, you know. But I just saw that moment of having to have the sunset and taking pictures together. So it was necessary for them to go, all 7 of them. So yeah, it ended there. So I guess we'll see next week what happens in the trip, you see, because there was already tension between Upume, Nonandi. I didn't watch last week, but it seemed as if it was like heck, you know, blocker, Pume blocked Unandi. Nandi was like, okay, I will reciprocate the energy, girlfriend, and I will also be that girl that just pays you no mind. So there was tension there, and obviously that whole city situation. So we'll just see how it plays out, and also having to share the beds, we'll just see who says who slept how and all those things, whether they were comfortable, whether they woke up with animals around them or what. So we'll just see. But that was the gist of it all, and that was episode 8 of season 2 of Pastor's Wives. So guys, see you next time. Let me rather put it like that. See you next time. Until cheers, guys. Mwah.